Hi, so my name is Rupert Manwaring. I'm performance coach for Carlos Sainz, and I'm going to talk to you about how we prepare Carlos for some of the hotter races. So normally we have a special kind of heat preparation program that we do for races like Singapore, which are later in the season, but there's a massive heat wave in Europe at the moment. We're in Germany, it's really, really hot. Temperatures have been up to about 38 degrees Celsius, so we've had to bring all that preparation forward. So I'm going to talk you through what piece of equipment we have. This is what's known as a cooling vest. So as you can see, it's beautifully labelled with all the McLaren sponsors. Then the back, performance element. So we've got these little pads here which we put in the freezer. Pre-freeze them, put them in the pouches here, and the driver puts that on, normally over his underwear on the grid, and potentially before qualifying, and afterwards as well, so that they can recover after a hot session. That's for cooling the torso. It's probably not going to have a massive effect on the core temperature, but it makes them feel more comfortable, and therefore feel more comfortable makes my life a little bit easier, so that's better. The second thing that we might use is a cooling collar for the neck, like so, which I know Carlos loves wearing and is really super cold when you first put it on. But that just helps cool the blood to the brain, so feel a little bit more comfortable. And then probably what we'll use the most, or what's most effective at cooling core temperature, is using cold water immersion, effectively an ice bath, which Carlos absolutely hates, but we'll go and have a look at that now. Okay, so this is probably Carlos's favourite / least favourite pieces of equipment, the ice bath. It's more effective than cooling the core temperature than any kind of ice vest or cooling collar, for the main reason being, obviously you can affect a bigger, larger surface area of the body. We try and get it as cold as possible, but what you don't want is it's so cold that obviously he's shivering, he's getting stressed, and it's so unbearable that he wants to get out. So we obviously want a bigger deficit as possible, so that we kind of get the biggest effect, cool the core temperature as much without causing too much stress. Carlos can be a little bit sensitive to cold water, so we have to play around a little bit with that, but it is a really effective tool that we use. Obviously race weekends, the schedule can be quite tight, so sometimes it might only be 5 or 10 minutes, other times we'll try and get up to like 15-20 minutes, and it's a really, really good recovery tool and good good piece of equipment for any hot race weekend. It is obviously quite difficult for Carlos. It's quite a lonely place to be. So, and I think also any bath is not the same without one of these. 55 Sainz. The one thing is we need to find a name for it. So I think if people leave their suggestions in the comments below, we'll then get Carlos to pick the best one. And that's it. The ice bath. Obviously we've gone for McLaren colours, more or less. I think this is as close as we could get to the McLaren papaya orange. It's not perfect, but hopefully the marketing team won't be too offended by it. And first race weekend that we're using it, and looking forward to using it, although Carlos may not be.